Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Zan Bando, and I'm the newest member of National Sports Radio. You may have heard me on Sports Talk on Spreaker under the umbrella of the Zanby Sports Talk Show. Thank you very much for everybody that is listening in. Today we will talk about what has happened this week in sports, is the name of this show. My name is Zan Bando. I go to sports broadcasting camp in Chicago. Thank you very much to Robert Dieters, who is the head of National Sports Radio, for having me do this. I just tweeted and Facebooked the show to their account. Thank you very much. We have a lot of stuff to talk about today. We have 2 hours to get this done. So, here we go. What we're going to be looking at today is some MLB scores. We'll talk about the U.S. Open. We'll talk about the UFC event that happened yesterday. If any of you know what UFC is a brand of boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, all that good stuff. And we will also get into the NBA Finals, Game 5 tonight, between the Heat and the Spurs. You can listen into this podcast on Spreaker. Thank you very much again. And this is called This Week in Sports. So we will get right into it here. We will look at the MLB scores for today. Okay, looking at today's schedule. Alright, the Twins and the Tigers are in a 3-3 deadlock in the bottom of the ninth. That will probably go to extra innings. In New York, we have the Padres and the Mets. Well, the Mets had to close out the series with San Diego with a win. It is 3-1 New York. The Blue Jays are up 5-2, a commanding lead over the Baltimore Orioles. The Royals are beating the White Sox by 3 runs in the sixth, 6-3. The Rays and Astros are tied up at 3. In the top of the sixth inning, the Rockies and the Giants are in the bottom of the first. The Diamondbacks are up 1-0 on the LA Dodgers in the first inning. That game underway. The Angels and the Braves will be the Sunday night baseball game tonight. The other scores going on around the MLB, who tied between the Pirates and the Marlins. That is in the 10th. This graphic is run. The Indians and the Red Sox were all tied up at 2. The first final today, 3-0. The Cubs beat the Phillies and take 2 out of 3 in Philadelphia. The Reds and the Brewers. Reds are up 5-4 over Milwaukee after Milwaukee was down big early. St. Louis has added to their lead over Washington. They now lead 5-1 in the top of the 7th. The Yankees are trailing the Oakland Athletics early in the first inning, top of the first, 3-0, and the Rangers and Mariners are scoreless. That game just got underway. Alright, so those are your scores that are going on right now. Currently, we are looking at that. So, let's take a look. Let's take a look. So, now we will look into the UFC event that happened yesterday. Let me pull up the results. For any of you mixed martial arts fans out there, UFC 174. Okay. UFC 174. Okay. Looking at the results. So, again, I broke down what the UFC was. If you guys want to know about this, here's the card. So, Demetrius Johnson defends his title against Ali Bakatinov in the main event to retain his 125-pound flyweight championship of the world. Rory McDonald makes a big statement against Tyron Woodley as he defeats Woodley by unanimous decision. He will probably get the next shot at the UFC welterweight championship, depending on what happens between Matt Brown and Matt Brown and who is it? Matt Brown. I think it's I'll get back to it. But McDonald makes a huge statement. Ryan Bader gets back into the light heavyweight top 10, if you will, as he beats Fei Zhao. He shuts him down for 15 minutes by unanimous decision in the most controversial fight of the night. Andrei Arlovsky returns to the UFC after being out of the UFC for 6 years and beats Brendan Schaub. Now, if you guys saw this fight, okay, you guys know that Brendan Schaub got robbed, which Brendan Schaub should have won this fight. I believe he dominated the back half of it. He dominated the last 10 minutes of the fight. It should have been a Brendan Schaub decision win. Instead, they gave it to Arlovsky. That fight sucked. Okay. Ovince St. Preux broke Ryan Jimmo's arm. I'm not really going to get into that. You can go look it up, but beware, it's a little gross. And then finally, Kinomoto submits Daniel Serafian. Big upset win there. So there's your recap for UFC 174 last night. Wasn't the greatest card in the world. I just wanted to give you a little recap of what happened there. Now, we're going to move into the NBA Finals, so we're going to break that down for you. And we will recap the Stanley Cup as well. Finals. Okay. This is an article. I'm not going to read it. Apologize. I'm not gonna really read this article, but I'm gonna sum it up for you here. If you guys haven't seen this series has been very intense. Very intense series. You know, looking at this, over the week, it's been all San Antonio. I mean, Miami's gotten destroyed by 28 in the last game, and then 22 in the game previously. And tonight, going into Game 5, it's do or die for the Miami Heat. Because if they lose, their season's over. And if they win, they force Game 6 on Tuesday. Looking at this game, I think that, with it being in San Antonio, the crowd is going to be behind the Spurs. The crowd is going to be behind the Spurs. Going into this game tonight, and I think that San Antonio is going to have a good shot to win this game. I don't know if they will or not. We'll see what happens, but I think that Miami will come out and play desperation basketball, and I think that down 3-1, I think the Heat will play their best game of the series. You watch, it's not over yet. And even though I'm not a Heat fan, I just don't see San Antonio being able to win Game 5. I mean, I just had this gut feeling. I really do. We'll see what happens. It depends on how the officiating is. It depends on who gets out fast and early. We'll see what happens with that. So we'll see. It should be a good game. The Spurs are looking to win the NBA championship and stop Miami's three-peat. Okay, so there is your breakdown of the NBA Finals. My prediction is a Heat win. They force Game 6 on Tuesday night in South Beach. That is my prediction. I don't think it's over for Miami yet. That is just my prediction on that. Okay, and also leave your thoughts on Facebook and on Twitter of how you think this show went, and if you want me to do more shows in the future. Next topic, we will look into NFL news, because there have been a few things I want to go over. NFL. Okay. All right, Brandon Flowers, who was the Chiefs' cornerback for a long time, got released the other day, and I thought he was very good. I thought that the Chiefs, I thought the Chiefs did a good job with him, but I think that his inconsistency late in the year led to Flowers getting released. We'll see where we'll see where he lands. He could land in Pittsburgh. He could land in Baltimore. He could land in New York. I don't really see an NFC team going after this guy. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens with Brandon Flowers. That was one of the big stories. Chuck Noll, legendary Pittsburgh Steelers head coach, died late Friday night at 82 years old. If you don't know who Chuck Noll is, look it up. This is crucial if you want to know football history. Chuck Noll won 4 Super Bowls with the Pittsburgh Steelers in the 1970s. He was the second Steelers head coach that the Steelers ever had. Okay, and he did not get fired. He only coached for one team, and that was the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he had to retire. So that's why he left Pittsburgh, and he didn't coach again. He made a dynasty out of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He really did. He made a dynasty out of them. So yeah. So there's some other big news. Okay, so now we'll get into the Stanley Cup final. We'll get into the Stanley Cup final here. I think that if you look at this final, the LA Kings won the Stanley Cup on Friday. Looking at this, a lot of people were happy about this. Let's give the arena crowd cheer. A lot of people were happy about it. Some people were not so happy about it. I wasn't happy about it. I wanted the Rangers to win. I'm a Blackhawks fan, so I was really disappointed that the Hawks lost Game 7. So yeah, I mean it was an okay series. It wasn't anything great. So wasn't anything great. It wasn't the greatest cup final in the world. I've seen better. So we'll see. I mean, throughout the week, it's been basically cup final and NBA finals and the World Cup, which I'll get to the World Cup here in a few minutes, but we have a few other things to cover. But anyway, I'm not making too many big predictions throughout for hockey yet because the finals just ended. We have a final award in baseball. The Miami Marlins have pulled it out. They've beaten the Pittsburgh Pirates 3-2 in 10 innings. The Marlins take one in Pittsburgh. Okay, so now we're going to look up the World Cup here, see what's happened over the last few days. Okay, so we'll start out at the beginning on Thursday. Brazil beat Croatia 3-1. That did not need extra time. On Friday, Mexico shut out Cameroon 1-0. Chile beat Australia 3-1, and the Netherlands stunned Spain. They were a 5-1 underdog going into this game. The Netherlands beat Spain 5-1. Then yesterday, Colombia beat Greece 3-0. Italy beat England 2-1. Costa Rica beat Hungary 3-1. Cote d'Ivory beat Japan 2-1 in full time. And today, currently in the 84th minute, France leads Honduras 3-0. Later on tonight, it is Argentina against Bosnia and Herzegovina. Okay, that sounded 5 o'clock for Group F, and then for Group E, Switzerland beat Ecuador 2-1 in full time. That was a great game. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. we have Germany and Portugal, Iran and Nigeria for Group F, and then Group G, the match that we've all been waiting for, the United States and Ghana. Let's go USA at 5 o'clock. So that's what happened with the World Cup over the last few days. Let's get into some. Okay, some finals to report that we didn't report earlier. Okay, the Tigers have edged the Twins 4-3. The Tigers have edged the Twins 4-3. The Reds-Brewers game is getting more interesting. The Reds are up 6-4. The Indians and Red Sox are all deadlocked at 2 apiece in the bottom of the ninth. That should be a good game to catch the end of. The Cardinals lead 5-1. That game's over. The Athletics still lead the Yanks 3-0. The Rangers lead the Mariners 1-0. And a few scoreless games, for example, the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers and the Rockies and the Giants. Okay, so I just want to give you a little update on this year's NFL schedule. I just want to go over week 1 real quick. Okay. Alright, so just to give you a heads up, the first NFL game of the year will be the defending Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks as they host the Green Bay Packers on Thursday Night Football on NBC. The Saints are in Atlanta. The Vikings are in St. Louis. The Browns are in Pittsburgh. The Jags are in Philly. The Raiders are in the Big Apple. The Bengals are in Baltimore. The Bills are in Chicago. The Redskins are in Houston. The Titans are in Kansas City. The Patriots are in Miami. The Panthers are in Tampa Bay. The 49ers are in Dallas. And the Colts, Peyton Manning's return. Actually, no. Peyton Manning hosts his former team, the Colts. And on Monday night, the Giants play Detroit in Detroit, and the Chargers play Arizona. Well, that's a pretty good week 1 if you ask me. Okay. So we have like 11 minutes left. I'm going to go for a half an hour today. I just wanted to give you a few other notable mentions. Let me see here. 1 second. If you want me to do more shows, let me know. You can find me on Facebook. I'm in the National Sports Radio group. If you want to know more about that, go on their Facebook page or direct message Robert Dieters if you are interested in joining the group. The fee is only $10. I haven't paid yet, but I will very soon. Thank you very much. Let's see. Now our next topic. Whew. Okay, our next topic. If the Heat force a Game 6, what will happen next? As you can hear Dream Sequence 2 playing in the background, just want to ask a little question. If Game 6 happens in Miami, what will happen? I would say if the Heat are able to win tonight, they could win Game 6. I really believe that. I think they could. I think they have a good shot at it. I just think that with LeBron and company, I don't think there's anybody that could beat Miami if they win. If they win tonight. I really think that if the Heat could win tonight, they could win the series. I really do. They just have to play a really good game. That's all. We'll see what happens. I think that the key for the Heat is they have to get a fast start. I really believe that they got to get a fast start because if they don't get a fast start, then the Spurs are gonna walk all over them. I really believe that. If you watched if you watched this series, you know that the Spurs have taken control of this series, and I just don't see. I just don't see. I don't know. I just don't see it. I mean, I don't see San Antonio being able to maintain it. I really don't. I know. Well, that sounds insane, but I don't see it. I really don't. I'm sorry. I mean, but I don't know. I just feel like the Heat play their best under pressure, and I think that I think that they'll be able to do it. I really do. I think that they will be able to. We'll see what happens. We'll see. So, yeah, thank you very much for everybody listening to this podcast today. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to follow this page. Yeah, thank you. Um, let's see. Anything else? I don't think there was anything else. I didn't think. I think that just the big things this week were the World Cup and the finals for both the NHL and the NBA. The U.S. Open is going on right now, but I really don't feel in the mood to talk about it. Um, I think that this is all I got. So again, this has been Zan Bando from Spreaker.com. You can hear me every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock under the Zanby Sports Talk Show umbrella. I'll try to do as many This Week in Sports as much as I can. Again, I'm a Chicago guy, so anybody that wants to do a show with me on a certain sport, be my guest, DM me on Facebook, and we can set it up. So again, thank you very much. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. This has been This Week in Sports, the June 15th Father's Day edition. Again, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there out in the world. You deserve it. It's a good day today. Thank you very much. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time on This Week in Sports. Again, and my name is Zan Bando, and this is Zan Bando Signing off. This will go into the archives. Download it, Facebook this, and tweet the show for me. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you guys later.